Hey, what's up, guys? How are we getting on today? So, today we're going to be talking all about how to become unstoppable. So, how to become unstoppable using all the tips, all the tools, and everything that you've kind of heard already or seen throughout this series. So, what we kind of really want to put a focus on right now is your starting point. So, where you are at this very moment. And just knowing that we're going to start really ramping it up now and taking those very first steps to allowing you to actually start to move forward. Now, we know when we want to build confidence, we want to build self-esteem, we want to become fitter, we want to become stronger, that there's lots of different areas we can start to focus on. And we touched on stuff like different exercises that we can focus on, even just getting started with a gym routine, overcoming mental barriers of actually taking that very first step to actually get into the gym, connecting with a specific trainer that can actually help you put together a program, and guide you in actually moving forward. So there's so many different areas that we can actually start to pick at. But what I really want you to focus on now is asking yourself, what is kind of one tip or tool, or what is one kind of thing that I've kind of said over the series that has really kind of stood out to you or really resonated with you? Because I want you to really kind of grasp onto that now and use that as your focal point to get started. Now, getting started, it is going to be tough. It can be hard. There may be potential barriers along the way that we need to break down, but that's okay as well, because when we get going, eventually we're going to start to build momentum. So it's just like, imagine trying to push a car at the start when it's stopped. You got to get behind it, you got to push it, you got to give a lot of energy, you got to put in a lot of commitment. You can't be half-assed with it. You got to really get stuck in and start pushing. And when you start pushing, it'll slowly start to roll, and it'll pick up again a little bit faster, a little bit quicker, until eventually you can push it with ease. And that's the same thing with allowing you to move forward, the same thing with helping you become unstoppable moving forward. Because each of the barriers and each of the challenges that you come up against are going to be the things that you're going to break down, which is going to basically take the brakes off your journey moving forward and allow you to build up that momentum to continue to keep on going. So, what is the one thing that you want to focus on at this very moment? Now, we kind of went through about self-esteem, about confidence, about mindset, about becoming fitter, and about becoming stronger. But I want you to just pick one thing to focus on at this very moment. And then once you've done that, I want you to ask yourself, what is the one step you need to do right now to move forward? And also I want you to ask you is, what is one thing you would do if you had 100% self-confidence, if you had 100% self-belief, if you were already unstoppable? What would the things you would be already doing? Now just think about that for a moment. If you were already unstoppable, what would you be doing? Now, the first thing that pops into your head, I want you to actually take a moment and actually visualize yourself being that person. I want to visualize yourself doing the tasks that that person would do, because that's what's going to allow you to become unstoppable, is you stepping into the shoes of that person. Because really, at the end of the day, that is you. If that's who you want to become, and if you want to ignite that person inside you, it's just about bringing it up, releasing it, and letting it out there, because you can become that person. And the only thing that's ever going to stop you is you. So really think about that for a moment. What would someone that is unstoppable do? If you were that person, what would you do? Because you can do it, and you will do it. And it's going to start to change everything for you once you start doing that. And it kind of reflects back to when we're stepping outside our comfort zone. That's what this is all about. When you think about the person being unstoppable and what they would do, you might actually start to get some cold sweats or some butterflies or whatever. You might get some negative self-talk saying, oh, no, but that's not me. I can't be that person. But the thing is, you can, because that's what it's doing. It's firing yourself up to step outside your comfort zone and being that person. So you do have it in you to do that. You do have it in you to become that person. You just need to be willing to take action. And not just taking action right now, but taking action day after day after day, and doing it repeatedly over, so we start to build up that momentum. Remember as well, we spoke about the anchoring. We spoke about building up that confidence at that any given moment, about pressing on your thumb, reflecting back to that time when you had so much confidence inside you. And that's when that exercise is going to come in handy at this very moment. Because when you start to think of things that you could do when you're unstoppable and you have the negative self-talk, you want to step back into that person that you were before when you had that confidence. Squeeze on your thumb, bring up those feelings, bring up those emotions again, and really step into it to allow you to actually move forward and become that person. And so you need to create this path for yourself. One of the exercises I want you to really kind of focus on now today is writing out your plan. Start on the top of the page, write down where is your starting point. Where are you right now? Next, I want you to write down, what would you do if you were unstoppable? So write down a couple of phrases about that. So remember, what would you do if you were unstoppable? So write those down, have a look at what comes up. Now don't second judge anything that comes up. Don't think about too much. Just the first thing that comes into your mind, write that down and just actually read it back to yourself. Read it out aloud. And then ask yourself, what do you really need to do at this very moment to become that person that you've just written down? Because once you start to do that, you'll start to unfold a plan. You'll start to create something that you can actually start to follow. And once you have that down, next up then, I want you to write down, what commitment are you willing to give yourself to take action on those steps? So that's it again. What are you willing to do to take action on those steps? Because without action, there's going to be no reaction and there's going to be no path in moving forward. And while you're writing down these things as well, you need to ask yourself, why is this important to you? Like, why do you want to become unstoppable? Why do you want to have more confidence? Why do you want to be fitter? Why do you want to be stronger? Because when you start to create that why, it'll create that neurological pathways within your mind, and you'll start to actually start thinking a bit different. You'll start to building up a bit more of a belief that, oh, maybe I do want to become this person. Maybe I can become this person. And you can and you will, as long as now you're willing to push everything in place and take those steps and start to move forward. Then there is nothing that you can't achieve. And especially for me, like overcoming lots of stuff around self-confidence, self-esteem, being at a stage in my life where no fitness whatsoever. I was ashamed of how I looked, ashamed of how I felt, hated who I was. And I was able to flip all that around. And it really came down to doing something consistent every day, and knowing that I could get there. So when you actually start to see some results and you start to feel a bit better and you start to feel a bit more confident, it pushes you on even more and more. So that's another important reason why we actually want to write this stuff down and put it in place and take action on it. Because at the start, we may not see any difference. We may not notice any changes. But when we do it a few times over and over, I guarantee just in a few weeks, you're going to start feeling better. You're going to start feeling better towards yourself. You're going to actually start reframing your mindset as well if you're following the stuff around the affirmations, and if you're starting to notice your own self-talk, and reframing the words that you're actually using to be more uplifting, to be more positive towards yourself. That can really start to guide you moving forward. So putting all the practices into place that we've gone through now throughout the series can be life-changing for you, but only if you let it and only if you're willing to take action on it. So guys, I'm really excited for you now taking on this journey. Feel free to go back over any of the other episodes, re-listen to them or re-watch the video if you're watching from the video. And as always, just do it, dive straight into it. There's something called feel the fear and do it anyway. So when you feel the fear of doing something, you just put it to one side and you just go. Or even using the 3-second rule, that when you feel this fear of doing something, all you do is you count to 3 and you just go. So if you feel a fear of whatever it may be, going to the gym or whatever, and you're getting anxiety and you're getting cold sweats and whatever it may be, and you have this self-confidence thing about actually going in there, take a deep breath, count to 3 and just go. Don't even think about it. Don't even look back. Just go and just get yourself in there and just make it happen. Because it can be massively adding so much positive impact to your life. But again, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into these episodes. I hope you gained something from it. Feel free to reach out to me at any time on social media. You'll find me at Stephen O'Brien Coaching on Facebook, on Instagram, even on TikTok. But yeah, reach out to me at any time. My email address as well is stephenobrien.coaching@gmail.com. Again, shoot me a message and I'll be happy to help out in any way I can. So guys, take care, good luck, and you can become unstoppable. So just got to go for it.